collaboration between Britain and Kenya, which we want to push forward, which His Excellency the President is committed to. And this kind of depth of relationship between world-class researchers on both sides is a real flagship to that, and its benefits are a testimony of that. We're also proud about the positive impact that Wellcome has on the ground. The Institute in Kilifi, which employs over 800 people and gives some really high quality jobs in an area which really values and appreciates them, and has played a critical role in developing the careers of many Kenyan scientists by giving them more opportunities for international collaboration and exposure. So it's a partnership of 60 years which has done some real good, and I'm really delighted that we're here to celebrate that. So with that, I will invite Julia Gallard, the Chairman of Wellcome, to the stage. Thank you very much.
Well, my huge thanks to the British High Commission for hosting this event, and particularly to His Excellency Neil Wigan, who you've just heard from, for hosting this reception. Neil, thank you very much for decorating all of this in the colours of the Australian flag. I'm truly grateful. And I would like to acknowledge my colleagues from the Australian High Commission who are here. Of course, we are delighted to be joined by our guest of honour, His Excellency Dr. Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Your Excellency, may I extend congratulations from everyone at the Wellcome Trust on celebrating 60 years of Kenyan diplomacy. Wellcome is proud to be among those who have worked with the Kenyan government and its people since 1964 in global health research and international science diplomacy. Our partnership to raise climate and health on the international agenda is just one recent example of how we can work together to achieve shared goals, and we're grateful for the leadership that Kenya has shown on climate change. Kenya is a leading science and innovation hub in Africa and increasingly the world. So I'm pleased to be here to join you for the Kenya Innovation Week, which many of our partners have been participating in. From clinical trials of vaccines, treatments, testing and screening, to pioneering new research methods, Kenyan science and innovation has not only improved healthcare in Kenya, but it has contributed evidence of the highest quality and rewritten global health guidelines benefiting millions of people around the world. Many economies are experiencing challenges, so we must remember the win-win value of investing in a thriving, sustainable research and innovation sector, yielding economic and social benefits, as well as improving people's health and their lives. Wellcome's history of engagement with Kenya in science and research began with a focus on malaria. Huge progress has been made, reducing the burden of malaria with national and international impact, although the challenge remains an important one. As our partnership has expanded and deepened, it has taken on other established and emerging health challenges through a research and evidence-led approach, and we very much hope that our partnerships and investments in Kenya will continue to grow for many years to come. Kenya hosts a range of Wellcome partnerships. They include the Science for Africa Foundation, Aga Khan University, Amref Health Africa, the Africa Population Health Research Centre, and the Kemri Wellcome Trust Research Program. Science for Africa is an exciting and forward-looking approach across Africa, shifting the centre of gravity for research funding away from the global north towards the global south. A highlight for us is the Deltas program, funded by a partnership between Wellcome and the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. Deltas supports African-led research consultants across multiple countries, focusing on priority health issues and training the next generation of African research leaders. 3 of these partnerships are led from Kenya, and I welcome their directors here today. And through the Deltas, we also have a partnership with Aga Khan University on mental health. Our partnership with AMREF began in climate and health advocacy, and we're now exploring where we might be able to support more opportunities to work together. Our partnership with the African Population Health Research Centre is also growing through initiatives such as the Research Support Hub and Carter program, both of which are developing Pan-African networks of research leaders. A great many Kenyan scientists have won Wellcome fellowships and other funding awards for their work. Our current funding portfolio in Kenya includes more than 60 grantees and is worth over £100 million, which is more than 16 billion shilling. The Kemri Wellcome Trust Research Program delivers world-leading research on global health issues and supports Kenya's position as an emerging science power. Now, this kind of world-changing research doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of 35 years of a productive collaboration and evolving partnership between Wellcome, the University of Oxford and Kemri. I'm delighted to be joined on this visit by Professor Irene Tracy, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Oxford. We've had the opportunity to talk during the course of the last few days about the fascinating science and positive impact that is here in Kenya. For example, we have been able to talk about the vital role in trials of new malaria vaccines the program has developed, and the first ever vaccine against Rift Valley fever. And by evaluating effective doses, has helped to increase the global supply of yellow fever vaccines. The program which we support here, the Wellcome Oxford Kemri program, is also a centre of excellence for genomic research, which was absolutely critical for Kenya's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and provides a surveillance reference laboratory for Africa CDC and the Kenyan Ministry of Health. Clinical research, including clinical support for the county health system in Kilifi, such as the hospital's high dependency unit and paediatric ward, and clinical surveillance around 25 hospitals in Kenya. Training new generations of African scientists and research leaders, graduating 50 students a year and having trained more than 150 PhDs. And the important and necessary engagement with communities and policymakers, ensuring research is not being done to the community, but with the community and having impact. The program, as you've heard, employs more than 800 people in Kilifi and Nairobi and is led by Professor Edwin Barasa and his team, world-leading scientists in Kenya, many of whom I'm glad to see we have here tonight as well. Wellcome provides the program's core funding along with other competitive grants for people and projects. It's not just dependent on one funder, and there are other funding sources stepping forward. So we continue to see great value in the work we support in Kenya to help us achieve our mission to improve health through science and innovation. Wellcome supports research that expands and deepens our understanding of life, health and well-being around the world. Beyond that, we have identified 3 big challenges where science has a role to play in finding solutions and where Wellcome can specifically support that role. They are infectious diseases, mental health and climate and health. All 3 are relevant here and across Africa and for the world as a whole. Alongside our partnerships in Africa, Asia and the UK, Wellcome is very focused on achieving our mission and our strategy in the years ahead. We want this to be a truly global program of work and about the health of people all around the world. We know we have a role to play in making health outcomes more equitable within and between the many nations of the world. We're working on how we can best do that, and we look to colleagues, friends and partners here in Kenya to help guide us. Increasingly, we recognise the benefits of research led from communities where the need is greatest, has the greatest impact. Science and research need support if science and research are to fulfil their potential in protecting and improving people's health. The challenge of infectious disease is still huge, and mental health problems are on the rise. The impacts of climate change on health are already here and will only get worse in the short to medium term. Kenya's voice carries weight on these urgent health issues. I thank Kenyan leaders for championing the importance of climate and health in international forums, including last year's Africa Climate Summit, hosted by His Excellency President Ruto. This is another way in which partnerships between governments, academia and philanthropies, between global north and global south, support science to have real-world impact. These partnerships are vital, they are impactful, and Wellcome will continue to support and develop them in places that are best placed to do and lead the research that we need to solve these health challenges. I'd like to finish by thanking all of our partners here this evening. We work together towards a common aim. Looking around the world today, such partnerships are not to be taken for granted. Any good partnership is a delicate balance. It requires understanding from all sides. We are here to commemorate 60 years of science and research, a partnership between Wellcome and the Government of Kenya, of which we are truly proud. And I can only say that we hope to be able to continue our partnership for the next 60 years. I thank you.
Thank you, Julia, for those words. It is now our pleasure and honor to introduce our guest of honor, His Excellency, Dr. Salia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs.
Your Excellency, Dr. Julia Gillard, Chair of the Wellcome Trust and former Prime Minister of Australia, Your Excellency, the British High Commissioner, Neil Wigan, Professor Irene Tracy, Vice Chancellor of Oxford University, my friend, the Governor of Mandera, who is also the Chair of the Council of Governors in Kenya, Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is an honor to join you in celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Wellcome Trust in Kenya, a steady partner in improving health through research and advocacy. Notably, the mission and priorities of the Wellcome Trust dovetail well with our national priorities on health, including enhancing biomedical science and research for quality healthcare of our citizens, and achieving effective preparedness for infectious diseases and pandemics. Your Excellencies, Kenya is indeed honored to host the Wellcome Trust, which has in decades supported our health system and institutions, including partnering with the Kenya Medical Research Institute. The KEMRI Wellcome Trust Research Program, in partnership with Oxford University, has enhanced local capacity and trained a generation of African scientific leaders. Additionally, the partnership has driven groundbreaking research on malaria, HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and other infectious diseases, while developing lifelong saving interventions that have improved health outcomes in Kenya and beyond. Thus, we celebrate this remarkable anniversary. We look forward to strengthening our collaboration with Wellcome Trust. Let me also affirm our commitment to the deep and elevated relations with the United Kingdom, spanning various sectors of mutual benefit. I want to thank the High Commissioner Wigan for hosting this event. I am conscious that our guest has to catch a flight, so I'll be very brief, but just to really say that as she has outlined, I think this is a very, very deep and essential partnership. We all know, for instance, that the physical space that we have today, or that we are in as a country, cannot allow us to engage meaningfully on our own on matters research. And most of you perhaps are scientists here and researchers. I just admire your patience. Because when you come out with what you want to really achieve, the processes, the time, you know, the number of times you fail, but you wake up again the following day so that you can continue. It's just amazing. You are strange human beings. You know, and when you look at it from that perspective, and you compare to what we normally try to look for in the political realm, you know, quick fixes. There's no quick fix in this field of yours, because you're dealing with lives. You have to be so thorough, so meticulous. So we really have to appreciate and commend you for this effort, and that is why a partnership of this nature has got to be strengthened in every sense of the word, so that where a country cannot raise enough resources, through partnerships of this nature, we can fill the gap and be able to do what is necessary for humanity. I was recently in Baku for the COP29, and I had the opportunity to have a conversation with one of the senior people there who happens to be a medical doctor. And he was telling me that Baku has now been declared by the WHO as completely malaria-free. I mean, as Azerbaijan, but we were speaking in Baku. So the question then is, what would be the percentage that Kenya sits at? Maybe 70% malaria-free? I don't know. But we look forward to a moment when, like Azerbaijan, WHO can formally say, now we can declare Kenya a totally malaria-free country. And it's through this kind of partnerships that we shall be able to reach there. But the other story I will tell is another one, is a short one. As I was coming from Samoa the other day, from the Commonwealth meeting, I had a chance to stop over in Brisbane, and I met some Kenyans in Australia, and I bumped into these very resourceful people. And one of them is working at the Prince Charles Hospital in Brisbane. He's a Kenyan. And what shocked me is that as we were walking in the hospital, the guy walking next to me, then I see another image of him ahead on the lifts, because they have actually put his photograph there. Because as a Kenyan, he's one of the top researchers in the medical field in Australia. And working with the university there, they're just about to make a major breakthrough in one of the challenges that we face. I'll not mention his name now, but he is there. I'll share the name with the High Commissioner, and I'm sure some of you may know him. So So they are just on the verge of a very serious breakthrough, and I really wish them well, because if it goes well, from what I gathered, is that they could become, jointly with his collaborating partners, both Australian and others, they could be on the verge of perhaps being a candidate for the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, and this is a Kenyan. So I can only wish them well. But what I'm trying to say is that this is such an important partnership that we should not undermine in any way. To put it simply, we should bend over backwards to try and see what are the strings that may be dealt with or put together from time to time, so that we do not disrupt the research that is taking place through this partnership. So I think that is all I can say. And I'll be requesting that we propose a toast for this very, very important occasion. So I'll need a glass as well. Thanks a lot. Yeah? Okay. And while I'm proposing the toast, the cake can come somewhere in front, because I understand there's a cake to be cut. So as they move the cake, may I request all of you to raise your glasses so that we can all celebrate and toast to the 60th anniversary of the Wellcome Trust in Kenya, and to the enduring partnership that binds Kenya and the United Kingdom. Cheers. Thank you. Now you can bring the cake forward.